Equations of circles is what we're doing now.
When is our test?
Test is Wednesday. So, anytime you have an equation where there's no exponents in it, do you remember what kind of equation that, or what's it going to look like? Linear. It's going to be a straight line. If you have anything with an x squared in it, which you did a lot of last year in algebra, we're just getting done with it in this year's algebra, it's a quadratic, which means it's going to have a parabola that goes like this or like that. If the y is squared, anytime you got a y squared, it's going to be what's called a hyperbola, a parabola that opens sideways. So, if both the x is squared and a y is squared, any idea what it'll look like if they're both squared? A circle, obviously. That's why I'm showing you, because we're doing circles. So, the standard equation of a circle is x minus h squared plus y minus k squared equals the radius squared. So when you do this, the h and the k is the center. Okay? So, for example, if you had a circle like this, it's not a great circle, but anyway. Okay, so if I had this circle on a graph, everyone watch so you know how to do this. What's the center? What's the center of the circle? 1, 1. And what is the radius of the circle? 2. That's all you need to know in order to write an equation of a circle. It's going to be x minus the h squared plus y minus the k squared equals the radius squared, which would be 4. So that's all we're doing today. Writing equations of circles.
So we're just writing the equation?
Yep. Now, this one, we know the center is -3/4, so that's the h, that's the k. So when you write that down, it's going to be x take away -3. So that would change to +3. Plus y take away 4 squared equals, the only thing missing here is the radius. So it says here the point -1, 1 is on a circle whose center is -3/4. So there's the center, and -1, 1 is on the circle. So it's like that, which means this is the radius right there. So, anyone know what we got to do to find the radius? How can we find that length? Hopefully someone can tell me what to do. You say, you could. What? You kind of got the right idea. We got to find the distance. X minus x squared plus y minus y squared square rooted. You need to do the distance formula in order to figure out what the radius is, because the only thing we're missing is the radius. We have this part. So, x minus x, -3, take away -1, is -2, which remember it's going to turn positive. so you just square it, plus y minus y is 3 squared, square root it. So that's 4 plus 9. Now on these, you're going to leave it square root of 13. Okay? So the radius is square root of 13. The number we put in there is the radius squared. So what number am I going to put there? 13, right. Because when you square a square root, they cancel each other. Alright?
Are we gonna have to do that?
Just one. There's one like that and one with a diameter. Okay, here is we got a graph one. So remember, this is h and this is k and this is r squared. So now this is what this sometimes confuses people. Some people may say that the center is negative 3, 1, because this is a minus 3 and this is a 1. But it's what? It's 3 and negative 1 is the center. Because it's x minus 3, which means you actually put in a 3 there. Hey, you guys, why don't you watch this? And here, in order to make that a negative, a positive, because originally it was y minus k, you had to put a negative 1 in there. So the center is always the opposite of what's in here because of the y minus k and the h minus, or x minus k, h, y minus k. So the center is this one, positive 3, negative 1. So over 3, up 1. Then what do we do to find the radius?
Wouldn't that be over 3 down 1?
Oh, yep, over 3, down 1. What do we do to find what the radius is? Square root it. The radius would be 4. So you go 1, 2, 3, 4 in all directions. And then you just sketch in a circle. Okay, so these are the simplest. Write the standard equation of a circle. X minus a negative 5 makes plus 5. Plus y minus plus 3 equals that squared. 27.04. Now, just we got a test coming up Wednesday. There's 2 problems just like this on the test for the circles. You'll have the center and you'll have the radius, and you got to write the equation. This one is a little tougher. There won't be one like this on the test. We know the center is this. So it's x minus negative 2 is plus 2. Y minus 3 equals, we don't know the radius. This is on the circle, this is the center. So the distance between these two is the radius. So you have to go x minus x, which is 6 squared, plus y minus y is negative 8 squared. And then square root it. So that turns out to be 10, right?
Yeah.
Yep. Square root of 100, which is 10. So, since the radius is 10, this is always the radius squared. So it equals 100. Graphing. Part of our assignment today is you just got to find the center and the radius by looking at the equation. So the center would be 1, negative 3. Remember, it's the opposite of those two. And the radius is just 3. Okay? If you had something like this, which we will, okay? The center is negative 2 and what? 0, there's nothing with the y, so it's 0. And then the radius, since it's not a perfect square, you just leave it square root of 15. Okay? If you had this, x squared plus y squared equals 10, what's the center? 0, 0, because there's nothing added or subtracted. And the radius is square root of 10. Okay? So that's all we're doing